Hey guys, it's James and we are back at our Capitol Hill flip. So for the past 12 months on our YouTube channel, we've been kind of updating what we've been doing, what we paid for it, our first initial walkthrough. Now we got to take you through the finished product. So to give you quick numbers on this property, we paid $800,000 for it. We put about $250,000 into the renovation and we sold it in 3 hours on market at $1.5 million. So we got a good, healthy couple $100,000 in profit on this deal. So let's walk you through the first finished product. So the first thing that we had to do in this house before we even get inside is we had to do a lot of work on the outside. You're gonna see what we did on the backside for the yard, but there was other things that we needed to do to get to that pricing. So when we were doing the renovation, we originally were gonna keep the siding because A, it didn't trigger a certain type of permit, and B, we didn't think we needed it to get the pricing. As the market changed recently, we wanted to feel a little bit crispier. We saw ones that were a little bit dated selling for less, so we upgraded the siding and spent $18,000 re-siding this whole house, which was not in our original scope of work. But when the market changes, you need to adapt with it. We wanted to make sure it looked really buttoned up to get it moved fast. It paid us back quickly because it sold very quickly. So as you get through the property, it looks completely different, or somewhat does. We kept most of the structure in line on this property. There's a reason we did it that way. In the city of Seattle or any of these old metro cities, if you start moving too many structural walls around, it triggers something called plan review. Plan review can take you up to 6 to 9 months just to get your permit. We wanted to be done with the house by then, so we decided to opt for a different floor plan. Originally, when we walked the house, we were gonna blow this whole wall open, but that was gonna trigger the permit. So we kept the structure in place. That's something you always wanna think about as investors. What's your plan? Is there issues with the plans? And then is it worth doing, or do you wanna switch it all up? And so we switched it up. The only main wall that we took out in this house was that we had a wall coming through here that sectioned off the kitchen. That is not great for resale. You want open concept floor plans, especially with a house that has a more narrow floor plan. It would have felt really chopped up. We wanted the natural light flowing through the house to the back of the kitchen. So we opened up this wall and we completely refigured the kitchen. I think before the fridge might have been over here, sink and dishwasher were here. And so we moved everything to where our sink and dishwasher are now below the window. That's a normal thing to do. We installed this island because it was too tight to go with a peninsula, so we ran a bigger island to still give them the sitting area and still have our dining formal living. For our specs on this property, now we upgraded certain things. We upgraded the siding because we wanted to have a very buttoned up feel, but we did not upgrade some of these other things in the kitchen. So a lot of times in Seattle, there's kind of a breaking point. You know, 1.5 is kind of it. Where do you go to the next level cabinets? So we upgraded the box, we upgraded some of our cabinets, but not to what we typically do. The reason being is we didn't feel like the homes were gonna keep appreciating and get a higher price. We wanted to make sure that we're giving the market a reasonably priced home, but still had all the updates. So things we did upgrade is we went with bigger cabinets up top with some glass uppers. That added a little bit of extra flavor. It was about $400 in cost to us. Whereas if we would have gone with more of a custom style cabinet or a locally made wood, like a locally made cabinet, this would have cost us $20,000 more to upgrade the cabinets. So when you're flipping a house, always look for these little things you can do to add flavor but not crush your budget. So as we go through, we got a great floor plan. We installed hardwoods all the way through at this point. All the millwork package was completely redone throughout the whole house. We put in solid wood doors. That was an upgrade that we did want to keep. We didn't want a $1.5 million to have hollow core doors. That's a quality thing. So you guys, again, let me go back to that upgrade statement that I was just talking about. Sometimes it's easier to upgrade your cabinets and go with cheaper doors, right? Because it's the shiny thing that everybody wants. I want this great kitchen cabinets. But at the end of the day, a lot of times the buyers want a quality product. So for me, it was more worth putting in the better millwork package and complementing with a more affordable cabinet package than upgrading the cabinets going with a cheaper door. The bones of the house were good. So we added a powder room on the main floor because it was desperately needed. Things like beadboard we added in, and we added in these wainscoting throughout the wall to give it some more character. When you're renovating a Craftsman home or any home in general, you need to understand the style. This is a Craftsman home in Seattle. Typically, they're gonna have a lot more beefed up millwork package. You know, they're gonna have a 5-inch base rather than a 3-inch. They're gonna have Craftsman style moldings all the way through. So these are things that you want to plan up front when you're running your budget. So anytime we're looking at these old Craftsman or colonial homes, we're already doubling our millwork package because this costs more, right? We're going with more material, there's way more cuts, there's way more detail, but these details can make a huge impact on whether a buyer falls in love or not. Cohesiveness in a renovation plan is beyond important. And so you really want to look at what you're going to upgrade and not. So again, throughout this whole property, we upgraded the siding and the millwork, but we didn't upgrade the appliances and the cabinets because it's still cohesive, it still speaks to each other, and the buyer is still getting a good product. So as you come through here, here's our new bathroom that we added in this section. We upgraded the cabinets through here just to give it a little bit more flavor because we wanted to kind of break it up. We didn't want it to feel too sterile. That's a $200 upgrade. Again, look for small upgrades you can do to separate your house. Right now, it will get it sold faster. So in this section of the house, we reframed that bathroom to make it more conforming. We had a bedroom and then a really weird bedroom here with the primary over here. That doesn't flow well. We had 1 bath, 4 bedrooms up, or it was like 3.5 bedrooms. So what we did is we reframed this section. This took us a while too because it was kind of a weird space at this point. So we had to do our as-built and after plans 4 times on this room to get the flow right. So we ended up bringing the hallway out, framing it this way, and we turned this little secondary weird room into the master closet and the primary bathroom at that point. So now you come in, you got a nice big large bedroom, you got a walk-in closet, and we added in this bathroom which turned out killer with the design. We did not cheap out on this. We upgraded the tile with octagon, we two-toned it, all new tile surrounds, and then put penny tiles in the shower pan. So breaking up your tile can give it a very custom feature without killing your cost, right? This is more just a labor intensive for us. We gotta go source the materials, get it, and put it there, but it's the same install price at that point. The tile guy's not charging me more for 2 different materials for that flooring, but it gives it a better finished look. The better finished look's gonna get you the premium dollars. So now that we covered the 2 main floors, again, we opened up the kitchen wall, we installed new kitchen cabinet, rewired, replumbed everything throughout the main floor, added in some wainscoting to give it the extra charm. We reframed the upstairs for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath from a 4-bedroom, 1-bath. Let's go check out the basement and where we added 800 square feet, which made a huge impact on the value in resale. All right, so now we're in the basement. So when we bought this property, it was completely unfinished, had a little bit of paneling, but it's raw, no utilities, no power, no anything. So when we bought this property, about halfway through the project, as we were working through some permits, guess what? The rate started spiking and the value started coming down. At one point, this property is worth $1.75 million, and it came down to 1.5, right? That's a $250,000 drop. Luckily, in our pro forma, we had a value of 1.45 because we bought it prior. That's the good thing about long permit jobs, is that sometimes you're buying it right and the market can correct and you're still okay. But what we did down here is typically with a basement, we're gonna actually add a bedroom and a bathroom down here to optimize space. But that was gonna trigger a lot more permitting. They said in the city that if we decided to finish this with a bedroom and bathroom, they were gonna put us in plan review. Now remember, the market was changing at that time. To get into a longer project doesn't make any sense. We wanna just kind of keep it moving forward. So that's where we switched our plan around, dropped the value down, and we removed this off our plan to keep the project going forward. If we would have stuck with that bedroom and bathroom, it would have took us, we'd be still working on it right now. It would have took us an additional 4 months, which we didn't want at that time. So we kept it way more simple with the plan. We just added a laundry room down here and we made it a big bonus space because after all, for the comps, we only needed a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath to get the value. So to add this down here was more upside than to actually execute the plan. Those are things you always want to think about as an investor. Sometimes it's not about taking it to highest and best use. Highest and best use can sometimes be the best plan that gets you through the project quicker. The quicker your projects go, the higher cash on cash return you make. The quicker your project goes, the less market conditions you're exposed to. And so when you're in a transitionary time like we just were, get with the city, switch your plan, expedite your permits, and keep it moving forward. If we would have just stuck with our original plan, we would have been in some deep doo-doo later down the road. So as we get back here, the house looks amazing, but then you got to also finish out the rest of it. So prior, when we bought this property, had a weird busted up fence. We had access here. There was this weird cooking, I don't know what it was, some kind of weird hobbit house right back here that had a barbecue in it. The yard was all kind of covered in rock and lots of bricks. We had over, I think, $4,000 in brick removal. We tried to repurpose the bricks, but it just wouldn't work. So one thing that we did upgrade as well is we actually had to have our landscaper bring in some dirt, bring this up to get us a nice flat yard. Again, the market was transitioning. We want this marketing to the masses, which are small families in this area. We know yard space is a big deal. So it was more of an election to upgrade the yard to get it sold quick. So back here, we yanked out all the bricks. We yanked out the weird structure. We put a brand new fence in so people feel really good about the house that they were living in. And then we raised this up and installed all new sod. You want to make sure that your house wraps all the way around, right? We don't want to spend months working on this project, putting thousands and thousands of dollars into it just to cheap out on the yard. That's not going to tie the whole project together. So always make sure that you're doing that and you will get paid more. So I hope you guys got something out of our walkthrough. If you want to see what this thing looked like, go back to ProjectRE and look for our Capitol Hill walkthrough initial project. We also have some framing videos and some other things that have kind of came up, and you can see how we brought the whole thing together. And if you want to learn more about flipping, make sure you check out Project Flip. It's an 8-week course where I'm taking you through all of my processes, how we source the deal, how we fund it, how we implement our construction plan, and how we sell them in 3 hours for mega profit.